Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris, is she looking at a situation where a divorce might be possible? Possibly? Yeah, still reeling from her defeat in the 2024 presidential election to Donald Trump. There are reports afoot that she is facing marital tension with Doug Emhoff. That tension is surrounding her, I guess, blaming him for losing. It's always the man's fault. His alleged scandals with infidelity and workplace misconduct. She claims that had something to do with her leaving, according to these reports. Well, the couple presented a united front during Trump's inauguration. Rumors of divorce have continued to percolate. Emhoff has allegedly taken a job in New York, and we'll have to go back and forth to San Francisco. Harris wants to have a political comeback. Does dumping old Doug do that?
Number 6.
Republican lawmakers from Alabama joined their conservative colleagues, sending a letter to President Donald Trump urging him to reinstate and expand pro-life policies. Wait, I was told during the election that if Donald Trump was elected, he'd ban abortion nationwide. I was told that was going to happen like by executive order or something. It didn't happen. Anyway, the letter, led by pro-life caucus chairs, criticizes the Biden administration's weaponization of the government against pro-life Americans, which happened. There are a lot of pro-life people sitting in jail right now for random protests. Crazy stuff here. They want a supportive approach for pregnant women and children. United States Senator Katie Britt out of Montgomery introduced the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which says if a baby is attempted an abortion and it survives, you have to give it aid. For some reason, there are people in this country that think that that should not be. Those people are sick.
Number 5.
Winter weather issues across the state of Alabama as we had a major water main break in Inslee, Alabama, causing problems there, disrupting services in the Birmingham area amid freezing weather, leaving residents and businesses with low water pressure. And that started early during this. And now it is still, I think, almost dealt with at this particular point in time, or it may be dealt with by now. In Mobile, heavy snow caused the collapse of the roof at the Mobile Civic Center. Yes, that's right. It was already under demolition, and no injuries were reported, but people are really worried about stuff like this because, look, we're not built for this. But is anyone built for it? Did we have in Minnesota, did this happen not too long ago? The weight caused a big problem there. Either way, cancellations, school closures continue among the southern parts of the state.
Number 4.
Alabama House Minority Leader Anthony Daniels, state representative out of Huntsville, is defending his overtime tax exemption, citing its $343 million return on investment through higher workforce participation, tax revenue, and consumer spending. Despite a $230 million shortfall to the Education Trust Fund, North Alabama leader and regular guest on this program, Jacob Morrison, suggests alternative approaches, including repealing or capping the CHOOSE Act, which nothing to do with this, which diverts them to $100 million annually to private school tuition. Why is Jacob Morrison talking about school choice? Or ending the federal tax deduction for Alabama's wealthiest residents to generate up to $833 million in additional revenue. Raising taxes is not going to be discussed in this issue, but okay. They're trying to find solutions before the exemption expires. Jacob Morrison's offering bad ones.
Number 3.
Speculation around United States Senator Tommy Tuberville's run for governor in 2026. He is currently a United States Senator, obviously. That is going on and on and on and on. And now the senator is talking about expanding gambling in the state. Tuberville anticipates that Alabama voters will get another opportunity to decide on legal gaming, including a statewide lottery, as lawmakers prepare for the 2025 session. Is that true? We'll find out. Recent legislative efforts have stalled due to disagreements between the Alabama House and Senate. Public interest in the lottery remains high. They are fine. The public wants gambling. They do. But, maybe they don't know what's best for themselves. Tuberville is confident the issue will return for debate and potentially reach the ballot in the near future. It's a possibility, but I don't know, because if they can't just get a regular lottery done, I don't know what they can do. We'll see.
Number 2.
President Donald Trump has ordered the deployment of 1,500 additional active duty United States military personnel to the southern border with Mexico. Other plans for the border include new water barriers in the Rio Grande, which again we're calling the Rio America. This follows a directive to increase support for U.S. Customs and Border Protection as part of an ongoing border security mission that's already paying off, with far fewer illegals making it across the border. Tom Holman, the border czar, which we have a border czar now. We never had one before. No one ever mentioned border czar before, apparently. Tom Holman, the border czar, says that they have gone from tens of thousands of crossers, 10,000 crossing, to 766 crossing the border each day. It's been 3 days, and they've done that. That is a massive success. And all people have to do is look at that and say, good job. This was what we voted for. More of this, please.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Looks like the first bill Donald Trump is going to sign is the Laken Riley Act. This is named after a Georgia nursing student murdered by an illegal immigrant. And this individual had their cause taken on by United States Senator Katie Britt out of the great state of Alabama. It passed the Senate. It went back to the House. It passed the House, and it is set to be signed by Trump as the first act of his new term. And that's great. Great. The bill received Democratic support, marking a huge shift because it's the same bill they offered up last time. What's going on here? Now, I'll take it. I'll take this Democrat support. And Alabama's Democrats voted for it. I'll take this. But what is the difference between now and then? And don't say the presidential election, because the issue is exactly the same as it was then. I don't care why they've come on board. I'm glad that they have come on board. Kudos to them for pulling their heads out of their asses for a minute and saying, okay, we're going to do the right thing here. But what took them so long? How many times did they have to be told that this is what the people wanted? I guess losing an election drove that point home to them. Kudos to them for, again, coming on board, but I am not impressed that they're there solely because they're afraid of what's going to happen in the next round of elections. Again, I'm glad they've come around. I don't really care why they've come around, but they will be asked, why did you change your mind? Well, correct. You know what? I just said something very stupid. Let me apologize here for a second. If they were Republicans, they would be asked, why did you change your mind on this? But Democrat members of Congress don't have to answer those questions. Manu Raju's not going to stick a microphone in their face and say, hey, what's up with this? Why did you change your mind on this? They should. It'd be nice to know. But I wouldn't expect all of that to happen. If I was ever given a chance to ask Terry Sewell or Shamari Figures a question on the record, which will never happen, I would love to know the answer to those questions. That would be nice, and I think we should all know. But we're not going to. As of right now, if you know the answer to that question, you can tell me. It's a very simple way to get involved here and participate in the program. And there's the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN hot take text line. You can obviously jump in right there at 866-494-WVNN. You can email me.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. You can jump in right there. And that's the downtownrescuemission.org email inbox. Still people at those shelters, obviously, all the time, but especially when it's cold. So if you can help, downtownrescuemission.org. Go help those guys out today. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do just that. Is Kamala Harris getting divorced, and should we care about it? That's a question I have, and I'm going to ask Emily about that next. Should we care about Kamala Harris's divorce, or should we just kind of point and laugh at that? That's kind of where I'm at in this. We'll see. Hey, when I got divorced, I found it pretty funny. So don't give me an attitude about that. We'll discuss that when we come back right here on WVNN.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.